Kshamyatam Brahmaraji, just a minute. I need to screen. There is some problem in the Microsoft. I have to restart the computer. Just 2 minutes, huh?
No problem. Om. 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 Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet.
Hari Om. Brahmaraj, full chapter 8, shlokas only.
Yeah, maybe you can start from the 10th or so. We are on the 23rd, I think, 23rd or 24th shloka, right?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think the 22nd, 23rd, we can do it.
We'll do
Yesterday
one more time. Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah.
So maybe 15th verse onwards you can chant then. Huh?
Okay. Okay.
There's a bit of break in your voice.
Is it?
Just start chanting. We'll see how it is. Okay? Yeah.
Oh, okay. There is no notification so far, but if it is so, then we will just decide. Okay. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. अथ अष्टमोऽध्यायः अक्षर ब्रह्म योगो नाम मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म दुःखालयमशाश्वतं नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः संसिद्धिं परमां गताः आब्रह्म भुवनालोकाः पुनरावर्तिनोऽर्जुन मामुपेत्य तु कौन्तेय पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते सहस्रयुगपर्यन्तं महर्यद्ब्रह्मणो विदुः रात्रिं युगसहस्रान्तां ते होरात्रविदो जनाः अव्यक्तादव्यक्तयः सर्वाः अव्यक्ताद्व्यक्तयः सर्वाः प्रभवन्त्यहरागमे रात्र्यागमे प्रलीयन्ते तत्रैवाव्यक्तसंज्ञके भूतग्रामस एवायं भूत्वा भूत्वा प्रलीयते रात्र्यागमे वशः पार्थ प्रभवत्यहरागमे परस्तस्मात्तु भावोऽन्यः अव्यक्तो परस्तस्मात्तु भावोऽन्यः व्यक्तो व्यक्तात् सनातनः यः स सर्वेषु भूतेषु नश्यत्सु न विनश्यति अव्यक्तोऽक्षर इत्युक्तः तमाहुः परमां गतिं यं प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम पुरुषः स परः पार्थ भक्त्या लभ्यस्त्वनन्यया यस्यान्तस्थानि भूतानि येन सर्वमिदं ततं यत्र काले त्वनावृत्तिः आवृत्तिं चैव योगिनः प्रयाता यान्ति तं कालं वक्ष्यामि भरतर्षभ अग्निर्ज्योतिरः शुक्लः षण्मासा उत्तरायणं तत्र प्रयाता गच्छन्ति ब्रह्म ब्रह्मविदो जनाः धूमो रात्रिस्तथा कृष्णः षण्मासा दक्षिणायनं तत्र चान्द्रमसं ज्योतिः योगी प्राप्य निवर्तते शुक्लकृष्णे गतीह्येते जगतः शाश्वते मते एकया यात्यनावृत्तिः अन्यया वर्तते पुनः नेतै नैते श्रुतिपार्थ जानन् योगी मुह्यति कश्चन तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु योगयुक्तो भवार्जुन वेदेषु यज्ञेषु तपस्सु चैव दानेषु यत् पुण्यफलं प्रदिष्टम् अत्येति तत्सर्वमिदं विदित्वा योगी परं स्थानमुपैति चाद्यम् ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासूपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुन संवादे अक्षरपरब्रह्मयोगो नाम अष्टमोऽध्यायः ॐ तत्सत् अथ नवमोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच इदं तु ते गुह्यतमं प्रवक्ष्याम्यनसूयवे ज्ञानं विज्ञानसहितं यज्ज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात् Jai Gurudev. Yesterday, Dr. Savita had explained so very well about the manifested and unmanifested forms. I will just read the 20th verse and then the Parasmatu Bhavonyo Vyaktat Sanatana Sarve Bhuteshu Nashyatsu Nashyati. But distinct from that is manifest, which is existent, eternal, that is not destroyed when all beings are destroyed. अव्यक्तोऽप्यनित्युक्तः माहु परमातिं यं प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम. Oh, there is a voice break, Maharaji. I can continue sharing if it is too much voice breaking. Someone else can read. Avyaktoksara ityuktah. Too much of breaking voice, Brahmaraji, or because I got the message.
No, so far it is okay, Bella.
Is it okay? Just let me know. I can continue
Yeah.
sharing if someone else
Yeah.
can help reading.
Shall I read it?
Yeah. Please go ahead, Madhuri ji. I can continue sharing.
So from अव्यक्तोक्षर इत्यु वहां से शुरू करना है.
Yeah. You can just read the meaning, and I think we can go to 22nd verse onwards, right? Yesterday we completed.
I will just read this. The unmanifest that was spoken of as the one that is not subject to destruction, that they say is the highest end, that abode of mind, gaining which people don't return, is the highest. You want me to read the whole paragraph?
No, I think yesterday we had enough very well explained. No,
Discussion.
yeah, and Savita ji explained so very well. If I think we can just browse through the headings. You can read from here, Madhuri ji, I think. Yam prapyana nivartante taddhama paramam mama.
यं प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम paramam mama. Why is it called the paramagati? That is because gaining this, they don't come back. There is no coming back because it is not an end other than yourself. Generally, from any end, you certainly come back. But when the end is yourself, how can you come back? You can come back only from an experience. Simple nirvikalpa samadhi without the knowledge that Atma is nirvikalpa, for example, is an experience from which you will come back. When it is knowledge, coming back is not possible. With the mind, I am Satchit Ananda Atma, and without the mind, I am still Satchit Ananda Atma. What is to be gained? Before a thought, there is Satchit Atma Ananda. When a thought is there, it is the same. A thought doesn't displace.
Jai Gurudev, Madhuri ji, I think there is some background noise. I'm not sure whether everybody else is also getting the same. There is some
Okay.
squeaking noise coming at the back that is affecting the quality of what we are hearing. So if you can just take care of that, that will be great.
Okay. Is it better or somebody else can read it?
Yeah. You continue now. If that's continuing, we'll let you know. Yeah.
Sorry. So I am still Satchid Ananda Atma. What is to be gained? Before a thought, there is Satchit Ananda Atma. When a thought is there, it is the same. A thought doesn't displace Satchit Ananda Atma. It is nothing but an expression of the Satchit Ananda Atma. Even if you have a thought, if you know you are Satchit Ananda, there is no question of losing that knowledge. Once there is no ignorance of Atma, which doesn't change, there is no return. Atma is indeed my abode. Dham. Bhagwan says that is the highest end, Paramagati. The expression Paramagati can give rise to the notion that there is a place that I have to reach. Shastra does talk about heaven as a desirable place, but Bhagwan says here that the highest end is you. There is no heaven beyond you. All other places are places from which you will return. This is the heaven entering which you will never return. Everybody is generally committed to go to a place where they can be free from the troubles of life. That desirability is expressed by using the word dham. At the same time, it is made clear that even though it is heaven like, it is no non-separate from you and there is no coming back. That is the greatest abode. Bhagwan says, I have no abode other than you. I reside in your own intellect. Achieving this Atma by knowledge, which is the only way to achieve it, is moksha. Now, Bha- now Bhagwan shows the only means for achieving this, and that is none other than committed vichara, inquiry into the nature of Atma. Purusha sa parah partha bhaktya labhyastvananyaya yasyantah sthani bhutani yena sarvamidam tatam. Purusha sa parah. That Purusha is limitless. Partha, O Partha, labhyatu, but is to be gained bhaktya ananyaya, by a devotion in which there is no other. Yasya antah sthani bhutani, within whom are the beings creation, yena, by whom sarvam idam, all this, tatam, is pervaded. That Purusha is the limitless, O Partha, but can be gained by a devotion in which there is no other. He is the one in whom all the beings have their being, the one by whom all this is pervaded. The Purusha is the limitless, but can be gained by devotion in which there is no other. He is the one in whom all the beings have their being, the one by whom all this is pervaded. The word Purusha indicates both Tatastha Lakshana and Swarupa Lakshana. Purush sa para partha bhaktya labhya tu Arjuna. That Purusha is to be gained, it can be gained through para bhakti. Purusha, Shankara says here, means the one who seems to sleep in the body, in that he resides there without performing any action. That is why Vishnu is depicted as lying down. He is now sleeping at all, but is very much awake as
Chamyatam, Madhuriji, he is not sleeping.
he is not sleeping, sorry, he is not sleeping at all, but is very much awake as Chaitanya Swarupa. Atma, which is Chaitanya Swarupa, is resting in this physical body. This is the Tatastha Lakshana of Purusha, the definition that defines something in terms of its connection to something, as we saw before. When we say that out of which the world has come, by which it is sustained, and unto which it returns, is Brahman. This is Tatastha Lakshana of Brahman. It indicates that Brahman is not to be sought as name and form or beyond name and form. It is to be sought, it is to be sought as that out of which all the names and forms have come, and by which they are sustained, and unto which they return. My own physical body is a name and form, and therefore non separate from Brahman. So I need not search for Brahman. I need not wait for certain conditions or go to a place or be in a situation where I can see Brahman. Every place, every time is Brahman, and it is a matter of recognizing what is already existing now. The very knower is non separate from Brahman, as is everything he knows. From this, we understand that everything is Brahman. This is Tatastha Lakshana. It is so profound and important. Purusha can also mean Purna, limitless. This is Swarupa Lakshana, a definition which tells the nature of Brahman. It is not limited by space or time or any attribute, even though all qualities belong to it. Purnamadah Purnamidam, that is whole, this is whole, and this whole coming into being is only a manifestation of name and form. If this whole is removed from that whole, what remains is that whole. Any way you look at it, it is Purna. Therefore, it is Para. That one who obtains in the physical body is Para or limitless. Para becomes the reason for it being Purusha. Or we can say Purusha, the Jiva, is nothing but Para. Either way, it has the same meaning. How are you going to reach this Para Purusha when it is already the nature of yourself? Bhagwan says it is gained only by a devotion in which there is no other. Ananya bhaktya labhyaha. Shankara says here it is a devotion characterized by knowledge. If he is already non separate from yourself, the only way you can pursue him is through the committed pursuit of knowledge. Usually, when there is love, two people are involved and a fusion takes place. In the devotional literature, the jiva represented by the gopis are totally absorbed in the pursuit of Krishna, who is Parameshwara. This can be called Ananya Bhakti, devotion to one object and only that object. But when another object is involved, it is really Anya Bhakti. Here, Bhagwan says Ananya Bhakti, a devotion in which there is no other, a devotion to Atma, which is not other than yourself. Generally, the result of devotion is to go to other lokas, and the commitment is for that purpose. But in Ananya Bhakti, the commitment is to one's Atma. Bhakti here implies an inquiry that is imbued with Shraddha and longing. Because of that, only a jidnyasu or mumukshu can gain this knowledge. Anything knowable that is other than yourself, you can stumble upon, but not Atma. Uh, Sorry, uh, Brahmaraji or Belaji, you want to explain anything more here? Because lot of important sentences,
I think
paragraph.
yesterday we had enough discussion. This is we had already completed, and yesterday
Okay,
very beautifully Dr. Savita had explained these all
all right.
things. And today I was just thinking to browse through the text quickly. But if
Okay.
anyone wants to repeat, we can continue the reading like this.
Okay, I will then quickly go through it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please.
so
Dhanyavad.
anything, generally the result of devotion, no? From here I need to start.
Yeah, from anything here, anything knowable.
Anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything, anything knowable that is other than yourself, you can stumble upon, but not Atma. There are many reasons for that, but the most important one is that Atma is not an object. It is well hidden because the person who looks for it is really looking for himself. So, the problem of seeking should be reduced to simple jidnyasa. All desires are reduced to one dominant consuming desire to know the Atma. That is what is meant by the word Ananya Bhakti here. About that Atma, he says, Yasya antah sthani bhutani, yena sarvam idam tatam. The one within whom are all beings and things in the world, and by whom all beings are pervaded. That is Atma. Just as an effect is pervaded by its material cause, all names and forms which are effects are pervaded by Atma. The cause Shankara uses the word karya karyabhutani in the form of a product to describe these beings. As a product like a pot exists within its cause, the clay, all things exist within or are comprised of Purusha. Not only that, this entire world is pervaded by Purusha, just like a pot is pervaded by space, and within space alone, all pots exist. This Atma, being the cause of everything, is the one in whom all have their being and by whom all are pervaded. Being the cause of everything, there is nothing that is away from it. The existence of everything belongs only to Satchit Atma. What we call creation is nothing but name and form. Upon analysis, every name and form is reducible to further name and form until the entire Nama Rupa is reduced to Satchit Ananda Atma. Wherever there is name and form, name or form, understand that there is this Atma which is non-separate from it. This Atma is to be gained by Ananya Bhakti. Bhakti implies something that you love. In Ananya Bhakti, all objects of desire are reduced to one, the Atma. The desire to know that Atma is Jijnasa, and the love to know that Atma is Bhakti. Any form of Bhakti is meant to discover Ishvara, and the discovery of Parameshvara as Atma is the end of the Jijnasa. In these verses, Bhagwan points out two types of seekers. The group is directly or and totally committed to Brahman. For them, there is no travel after death because there is no subtle body. Its cause, the causal body, ignorance has been destroyed along with all its products. The karma standing in the account of the jiva is no longer separate from Brahman. Therefore, in effect, there is no causal body. So there is no more birth. The other seekers are the meditators, upasakas. They go to the Brahma Loka and there, being taught by Brahmaji, gain liberation. Then there are those who are doing good karma, desiring a better life later. They do gain a better life, but they have to come back again. All this is pointed out here. Keeping this in mind, Shankara introduces the next four verses. These discuss the meditators, the upasakas, who impose the concept of Brahman upon Omkara as a symbol in order to invoke or gain Parameshvara. For them, liberation is only after death. Such people, the Shruti says, can go to Brahmaloka. They travel through the Uttara Marga, one of the routes followed after death. Those who perform good karma, desiring a better life later, follow the southern route, Dakshina Marga. When they depart from this life, both paths are shown to point out that there are two different directions. One is Uttara Marga, goes to a place from where there is no possibility of return. The other, Dakshina Marga, goes to a place from where you will return. The south stands for samsara or death, and north for moksha. Everyone is attracted to moksha, even those who strive for the other lokas. Because of ignorance and confusion, they pursue lesser things, thinking that those will solve the problem. The northern route is also called the solar or bright path. The other one, the smoky or cloudy path. Both are pointed out here only to praise the Uttara Marga. Yatra kale tvanavrutti आवृत्तिं चैव योगिनः प्रयाता यान्ति तं कालं वक्ष्यामि भरतर्षभ. To whoever Yatra kale, at which time, by which route, yoginah, meditators, or karma, karmathas, prayataha, who have departed, yanti, go, tat kalam, that time, anavrittim, of no return, avrutim, or of return, eva, indeed, vakshyami, I will tell, Bharatarshab, O foremost of the Bharata family.
Would you like to read the Sanskrit words again, Anturite?
Can you do it? Because I am
Yeah.
not that very good.
Yeah. Tu yatra kale yoginah prayatah yanti tam kalam anavrittim avrittim cha eva vakshyami bharatarshava. Yeah, please continue.
O foremost of the Bharata family, I will tell you what is the time, route of no return, and also the time, route of return, by which the departed yogis go. Just as in a herd of cattle, there is usually one bull who stands out. Arjuna cannot be missed among the members of the Bharata family. Therefore, he is addressed as Bharatarshab. Prayataha means travelers, and the
Shamata
word is Prayataha. How to pronounce it, Belaji? Prayataha.
Here it is prayatah. This right?
Prayataha. Right. Thank you. Prayataha means travelers, and the word is connected to the word yoginaha, which refers to those who are either meditators or karmarthas. After death, some of the yogis travel the path from which they will return, while others depart through a path from which there is no return. I will now tell you about both these margas, says Bhagavan. The word Kala in this verse stands for the path, marg, by which people depart after death. The marg is mentioned through the Kala. The word Kala also indicates the devatas identified with time. Since the world is not separate from Ishvara, every phenomena in the world is Ishvara. Looked at through a given phenomena, Ishvara becomes a Devata. All things, earth, trees, rivers, besides being objects, are looked upon as Devatas. Ishvara, the efficient cause of creation, is viewed from the standpoint of a given effect. If the Lord is the material cause, the world becomes the very form of Ishvara. When we view Ishvara through a given form in the creation, Ishvara becomes the presiding deity of that form. If we look at Ishvara through karma, he becomes the one who presides over the law of karma and gives the results of actions. Any number of devatas are possible because there are varieties of phenomena. Because we can look at Ishvara from any given aspect in the creation, and there are many gods because one Ishvara viewed from different standpoints. This is said not only to show where these meditators go, but to praise the meditators who go to Brahmaloka and don't return. The description of the others and where they go is also given. The intention of Krishna is to praise the Uttara Marga by using Dakshina Marga as a background. There is no better background than a good contrast. It is not said to be belittle the other, but as an aid to understanding. Jai Gurudev. Belaji, can you take over from here, please?
Breaking of voices, Sarlaji had pointed out when I was reading. So just let me know, please. Okay. So far we had seen about Tatastha Lakshana and Swarupa Lakshana, Ananya Bhakti and Anya Bhakti, and manifested and unmanifested forms of Ishvara. And we had seen that the whole creation is nothing but the Brahman, and we are that Brahman.
Also, you pointed out this two margas he talked about
Yes.
Uttarayana
Yeah.
marga and this Dakshayana
Daksh.
marga.
Yeah. Uttara Marga is Sreshta. It is better than the Dakshina Marga. That is what was mentioned, right?
Nothing is like is one is better than the other, depending on how people are. When one person is wanting to realize the truth or attain moksha, then that pursuit is that 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 there's no return point of no return. But then whereas that's Uttara Marga is preferred marga than this other one for mumukshus and jignashus, people who are not even thinking about it, and they follow that dakshina or that dakshina marga.
Yeah.
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 But this is
Finally, both. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Please go ahead.
wondering, this is a little different from that. We kind of remember one time the people who die in that Daksh that Ayanam, right? Dakshayanam column versus Uttarayana column. Whoever is dying in Uttarayana column doesn't matter. I'm wondering they are all not going to go to Uttaramarga. I'm hoping that I'm thinking that the people who are in that pursuit of moksha or the meditator upasakas, they pursue in that Uttaramarga, and whereas I mean, that's my thinking on that. But it's not because people die in that Uttarayanam will go to moksha directly or sarga directly versus Dakshayanam. It doesn't matter, I think, in terms of that.
Yeah. I think it
But in
depends
terms of the
upon.
marga, yes, it is.
Yeah, I also think the same. It is not that our physical this Uttarayan and Dakshinayan which happens in the our Maya world. No, if somebody is dying in the Uttarayana Kala and in the physical, not necessary that they are the devotees and they uh, are really interested in moksha and all. But it is the real the real meaning is what Krishna is saying here is a different from our physical Uttarayana and Dakshina. That's what I think. So. Because just now Uttarayana is going on, but so many people are dying. No,
Yeah, I mean
they are not
that
going
is
to get
the
all
thing.
the more.
Yeah, and also it said that Uttaramarga where those deities, devatas, inviting or the or bestow their uh, wishes on that soul, and that's what it said in the Uttaramarga also. And whereas in the Dakshina Marga, it's uh, they probably come back in the same samsara. That's what it's.
Jai Gurudev, Uttarayan Kale, it is like they are two separate entities. It is the Uttarayan Kale is that the time, and this is in this verse it is talked about the Marga. So is it different or is it will we say the same? Marga is that what you have done in your whole life that decides the Marga. Whereas the kal is it is a fixed period of time which is there. It doesn't matter, like if you are a blessed soul, then I think you will leave your body in the this Uttarayana Kale only, but it is not always so. I am not
Yeah,
very
I
sure.
think that is only symbolic. Maybe we should
Yeah.
not give too much importance to the time, because here we know the Jivan Mukta is moksha is gained not based on the time, right? It is based on knowledge. So I think it is only symbolic to show Uttarayana Marg and Dakshinayana. Basically, I think if we, I think it was only given to contrast.
Yeah,
Because then
just to mention.
we'll get fixated upon saying those saints who pass away, who attain samadhi in Dakshinayana, for instance, have not attained samadhi. So that, I think maybe we should just take it lightly. That's my opinion. We can always check with Nana when we have the session with him. And but
Yeah, the
then for
difference
certain,
between
the Uttara
uh,
marg is certainly an evolutionary marg, which will take you towards moksha, whereas the one Dakshinayana, the other marga, where um, it will take you back into samsara. Yeah.
Yeah, when we read the time factor, it itself specifically said 2 ayanam is that one samastaram, right? So sambastaram. So in that way, it is that 6 months is with Dakshinayanam, 6 months is Uttarayanam. There is no question about it. It is the column. It is a time factor. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. And I think Nana ji also mentioned that there isn't any because that's a story in Mahabharata where he wanted to go in Uttarayana Kalam, like Bhishma. So he kind of wanted to do that for whatever reason. But then again, mm, it's not relevant as again. Yeah, I just want that.
I just one request that please collect the questions, otherwise we will forget what we are supposed to ask Nanaji.
Exactly. That is why, as and when we get questions, no, it's better to email or just jot it down or put it in this WhatsApp group. Doesn't matter. Wherever, let's document the questions. Because otherwise, again, we'll go back to square one when we're doing
Exactly.
the repeat of chapter 8.
My question was that about Omkar. I will put it in the WhatsApp group so that somewhere it is documented.
Yeah, please put it on the group only so I remember. I forgot I had a question, but I really forgot. Brahmaraji told me to email, but I forgot. Okay, so here like Marga and Kala are the same as it is mentioned by Swamiji. The Marga and Kala, they are the synonym. The word Kala in this verse stands for the path Marga. Okay, just to bring to the notice. Shall we go ahead with the next verse?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Agnirjyotirah shuklah षण्मासा उत्तरायणम् तत्र प्रयाता गच्छन्ति brahma vido janaah. Yatra, where in which path? Agnihi, the god of fire or time. There is a footnote. Here the word Agni refers to the Devata, and that too the Devata of time. So too with the others mentioned in this verse and the next. As Bhagavan Shankara says, Agnihi Kalabhimanini Devata Tatha Jyotirapi Devata Eva Kalabhimanini. That is from the Upanishad Vakya. So Agnihi, the god of fire or time. Jyotihi, the god of time. Aha, the god of the day. Shuklaha, the god of the fortnight of the waxing moon. Shanmasa Uttarayanam, the god of the 6 months of the sun's northward travel. Santi are present. Tatra prayataha, those who have departed through that path after death. Brahma vidaha janaha, the people who meditate on Brahman, Brahma to Brahma Loka, gachanti, go. Yatra agnihi jyotihi aha shuklaha षण्मासा उत्तरायणम संति तत्र प्रयाताः ब्रह्मविदः जनाः ब्रह्म गच्छन्ति. Wherein which path the god of fire or time, the god of light or time, the god of the day, the god of the fortnight of the waxing moon, the god of the 6 months of the sun's travel towards the north are present, departing there through that path, meditators of Brahman go to Brahmaloka. I repeat, where in which path the god of fire or time, the god of light or time, the god of the day, the god of the fortnight of the waxing moon, the god of the 6 months of the sun's travel towards the north are present, departing there through that path, meditators or Brahman, Kshamyata, meditators of Brahman go to Brahmaloka. This is a blazing and beautiful route. On the way, all the Gitas are there. Agni, the fire god, is there to welcome you. Jyoti, the presiding deity of time, is there, as is Devata of the day. Shukla is the fortnight of the bright half of the moon, represented by the Shukla Devata. The idea here is to indicate all that is bright, and all these devatas are present along the route to Brahmaloka. Uttarayana is the period of 6 months when the sun is traveling northwards to the north of the equator. The north symbolizes moksha. Therefore, when the sun is traveling northward, it is considered to be a punya kala, a better period of time than Dakshinayana, the 6 months when the sun is traveling southwards to the south of the equator. Shanmasa Uttarayana literally means the 6 months of Uttarayana, but here it refers to the deity presiding over the 6 months of Uttarayana. All these bright devatas invite the jiva on the path and take him to Brahmaloka. Brahmavidah janaah brahma gachanti. Brahma gachanti, kshamyatam. Brahmavidah janaah brahma gachanti. Those people who meditate upon Brahman through Omkara go to Brahma, Brahmaloka. The word Brahma here stands for Brahmaloka. Having reached there, they can gain knowledge of themselves as Brahman and are free. Thus, there is no return for them. We are only talking about those meditators who are successful enough to go to Brahmaloka. We know that the word Brahma stands for the gain of Brahmaloka rather than Brahman, because it is said that they follow a path with Devatas on the way. Shankara says they go to Brahmaloka and gain knowledge of Brahman Kramena, gradually. This is called Krama Mukti. Then he adds that for the knowers of Brahman, there is no travel. The intention of Lord Krishna is not to describe various paths, but to point out that meditators go to Brahmaloka and the path is brighter for them. So Shankara says that we have to take the word Brahmavidah here to mean meditators on Brahman and not knowers of Brahman. There is no going or coming for those who have clear knowledge of Brahman. As you come to know that you are Brahman, you have gained liberation. We are not talking about such people here. Since there is a root mentioned, it is only for the meditators. For the wise men, there is no subtle body to depart when the physical body dies. All the pranas have resolved in Brahman. There is no person, no nucleus to which the karma can adhere. Since there are no karma phalas, there is no travel. For him, there is no going or coming because he is Brahman. So this is the takeaway paragraph. I repeat, for the wise man, there is no subtle body to depart when the physical body dies. All the pranas have resolved in Brahman. There is no person, no nucleus to which the karma can adhere. Since there are no karma phalas, there is no travel. For him, there is no going or coming because he is Brahman.
Sorry, Balaji, can you read the previous paragraph? What time?
Yeah,
Oh,
this Brahmavidah.
yeah,
Okay.
please.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, okay. Brahmavidah jana Brahma gayanti. Those people who meditate upon Brahman through Omkara go to Brahma, Brahmaloka. The word Brahma here stands for Brahmaloka. Having reached there, they can gain knowledge of themselves as Brahman and are free. Thus, there is no return for them. We are only talking about those meditators who are successful enough to go to Brahmaloka. We know that the word Brahma stands for the gain of Brahmaloka rather than Brahman, because it is said that they follow a path with Devatas on the way. Shankara says they go to Brahmaloka and gain knowledge of Brahman Kramena, gradually. This is called Krama Mukti. Then he adds that for the knowers of Brahman, there is no travel. The intention of Lord Krishna is not to describe various paths, but to point out that meditators go to Brahmaloka and the path is brighter for them. So, Shankara says that we have to take the word Brahmavidah here to mean meditators on Brahman and not knowers of Brahman. There is no going or coming for those who have clear knowledge of Brahman. As you come to know that you are Brahman, you have gained liberation. We are not talking about such people here. Since there is a root mentioned, it is only for the meditators. For the wise man, there is no subtle body to depart when the physical body dies. All the pranas have resolved in Brahman. There is no person, no nucleus to which the karma can adhere. Since there are no karma phalas, there is no travel. For him, there is no going or coming because he is Brahman. Here, Swamiji had already described, right, in the previous shloka, 22nd and 23rd, I believe. Knowing is being. And two types, like there are upasakas and there is one direct seeker, the one who
Yeah,
knows. Yeah,
you're
the
right.
direct.
The meditators or upasakas, that's the
Yeah,
one they're taking that path.
correct,
They invited by this devatas. Whereas the
correct,
person who already knows Brahman, they don't go through that path. They don't travel. They
correct.
already resolved into the Brahman already.
Yes, very true. Knowing is being. Yeah, they know that they are that Satchit Ananda Swarupa. And Satchit Ananda
It's so
Atma.
nice here. It says all the pranas have resolved in Brahman. And the
Hmm,
physical body dies, all of it dissolved in Brahman, who's for the wise man.
correct. And there
It's
is
so
no
nice
person.
to know all of that,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, this is the takeaway paragraph for all 22nd to 24th. Should I read further? Um, if everyone permits, I can continue. I can finish this. I
Yeah,
can.
Please go
you
ahead.
can
Please.
go 25 also. Correct.
Yeah,
Shloka.
yeah. Okay. धूमो रात्रिस्तथा कृष्णः षण्मासा दक्षिणायनम् तत्र चान्द्रमसं ज्योतिर्योगी प्राप्य निवर्तते Yatra, where in which path, Dhumah, the presiding deity of smoke, Tatha Ratrihi, similarly the deity of night, Krishna, the deity of the dark fortnight, Shanmasa Dakshinayanam, the deity of the 6 months when the sun is traveling in the south. Tatra, there on that path, Gatva, going, Yogi, the meditator, Chandramasam Jyotihi, the world of the moon, Prapya, having gained, Nivartate, returns. Yatra Dhumaha Tatha Ratrihi, Krishnaha, Shanmasa Dakshinayanam, Tatra Gatva, Yogi, Chandramasam Jyotihi, Prapya, Nivartate. The yogi, traveling by the route where the presiding deity of smoke, similarly the god of night, the god of the dark fortnight, and the god of the 6 months when the sun is traveling south are present, having gained the world of the moon, returns. I repeat, the yogi traveling by the route where the presiding deity of smoke, similarly the god of night, the god of the dark fortnight, and the god of the 6 months when the sun is traveling south are present, having gained the world of the moon, returns.
Yeah, this is just opposite of Uttarayanam, right?
Correct.
So the
Correct.
Agni, the deity of the fire and the
Time.
column, yeah,
Yeah.
and then the god of the uh,
Fortnight.
Sukla fortnight, right?
Yeah.
It said Sukla, here it's Krishna fortnight.
The god of
Mm.
dark fortnight, Krishna Paksha.
Right.
There is a route, marga, for people who are not karma yogis, but who do rituals to gain some merit. Even though he is a karmatha and not a karma yogi, he is called a yogi because he does only enjoined karma, not those which are considered sinful. Thereby, he gains a devaloka called Chandraloka. Again, the description of this path is given only to praise the bright path. For both, travel is involved. On the bright path, there is no return once the knowledge is gained in Brahmaloka. Here, on the other hand, people who are karmathas follow the path called Dhuma Marga, smoky path. The devatas on this path all preside over things that represent darkness. The god of the night, the god of the waning or dark side of the moon, the god of the half of the year in which the sun travels south are there on this path. Jyotihi here refers to karma phala, not light, because light cannot be enjoyed. A person who has done the enjoined karmas enjoys the fruit of those actions for some time and then returns back to the earth. The jiva is not released from sansara just because he has done good karma. The idea of the verse is that one travels. Death does not give you moksha. Only knowledge can do that. And if it is not gained, you embark upon these two paths after death. But these are only the good paths. There are others which are not so good. There is even a narka, a place where you undergo a certain pain. That is also karma phala. And when it is exhausted, you return. Karma phala cannot be eternal. So even from a painful loka, you will return. Here he talks only about desirable ends. Even from them, you return. Do you want me to read again?
Wait, the last few lines in the previous paragraph. Oh wait, just don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't go there. Yeah, a person who has done it. So you do the karma and enjoy the fruit of action. That means the karma pala for some time return back to the earth. Jiva is not released
Yes.
from samsara just because he has done the good karma. Okay. So just because you do a good karma, you are not released from samsara. So basically, this again tells you the karma doesn't attain. You cannot attain moksha, and even if you do good karma, also you be in the same samsara. So the knowledge only helps to gain the moksha. So that's thing. Hmm.
You have to
Here,
come to enjoy
y-
the punya also, na? You will have
yeah,
to back to
you
the
right. By
that.
doing karma, you gain some punya pala or papa pala. Depending on that, you go to whatever loka that you go and exhaust your karma pala, and then you come back to samsara. That the come back to samsara. That's thing. That's called the this
Mumukti.
Dhuma Marga. Dhuma
Yeah.
Marga.
Dhuma
Okay.
Marga.
Yeah.
Kshamyata.
So Dakshina Marga is different. Or is it's part of the Dakshina Marga is Dhuma Marga.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Chandraloka, and that is Brahmaloka. Uttarayana, that is Brahmaloka. And here he gains
The
Devaloka called
Chandraloka.
Chandraloka.
Mhm. There are two things even in Dakshina. This Marga for the Karma Yogis. In the verse it says Dakshinayanam, right? In the it,
Yeah.
yeah, traveling. route
Yeah.
is Dakshinayanam. Yeah, Dakshinayanam. Sanmasa Dakshinayanam. So that's a column. It states a column, but then the marga is called Dhuma marga here.
Yes.
Hmm.
And the
So
deity of smoke.
Dhuma Marga and Dakshina Marga are the same.
Correct. As per the
No, in
verse.
the previous one you read it right, Uttara marga. Can you go back the previous verse that was?
Yeah.
Jai Gurudev, 1 second. Bella, are you able to continue for some time
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you need to leave?
Yeah, Brahmaraji. Today.
Because I won't be able to read or
Yeah,
share
no
screen
problem.
today, right?
I
So
I
yeah, I
can
would
read if
suggest
you
that
want me
you
to.
can read. You can go back to Uttar Marga and then just clarify this thing. And
Yeah.
if time permits, you do come back to chapter 6. I think verse number 30.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
What I
So,
understand is Uttara Marga and Dakshina Dhuma Marga. The Uttara Marga is the path of light, so to say, which is lit up by all the devatas, and it is the Uttarayana Kala, Punya Kala, and that takes you to Brahmaloka. That is the path of evolution, so to say. Whereas the Dhuma Marga is the smoky path. It is also for those people who do good karma and all that, but it takes you back into samsara. And then there are other margas that have not been enunciated, which when you do papa karma, you go to naraka and all that. So the only thing is, one is the path of knowledge, the other is path of karma, as far as we understand this. So
Yeah,
the
right.
Uttara
I just wanted to quickly
Marga,
see.
no problem. Please go ahead and you can
No,
reread that
you're
part
right.
so to get some clarity.
It is correct. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that Sanmasa Dakshinayinam is it's a Dhuma marga, that the second marga that we're talking about. I was quickly looking at it because in the previous verse they only talked about Uttara marga.
yeah, you want to read anything, repeat any paragraph in the previous verse, or you want it is clear.
This
Yeah, I will just read quickly as Dr. Brahma.
you can read from here. The Punya Kala is better period. Oh, sorry, in the middle of the where it says Dakshinayana.
This is Uttarayana, the previous talking about. 24.
No, don't worry about it. I think we got it. Like what Dr.
Is it?
Brahma
Okay.
said, it's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Uttarayana is very clear. It is Brahmaloka and it is Kramukti. And once the knowledge is gained, you don't come back. But here in Dakshinayana, after your punya gets exhausted, because you have to come back. This is also called Dhuma Marga, cloudy path, right? It was mentioned in the 23rd verse.
Smoky path. Yeah.
Smoky path.
Yeah.
Smoky and cloudy. Yeah. This you want me to read again?
No, we are done with that. So, the only thing here also, this, even though he's a karmata, not a karma yogi, he's called yogi. And which are considered sinful. Therefore, he gains a devaloka called Chandraloka.
Yeah, he does karma, which are good karmas, not a sinful karma.
Okay.
But he may be doing with the doership and maybe not that ananya bhakti. He must be doing that anya bhakti.
Right. So we have to clear this. This is like she said that the the Dhuma Marga is focusing on this karmatas.
Yeah, karmathas.
Yeah. not
Mhm.
yogis.
Not karma yogi.
That the other one was said meditators or upasakas, right?
Yeah,
Okay. They are
upasakas.
different.
Correct. Upasakas are also the seekers, but they have they are different from those who are already who have become the Satchitananda Atma.
Right.
Mhm.
They don't have materialistic desires left. They only want to seek the Brahman.
Correct.
They are the
Yeah.
Upasak.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason I was talking about that all pranas resolve in the thing, I was reading 4th chapter slokas today, and that sloka number 29 and 30, I think one time we discussed it also. A type of a yajna, it was kind of not clear to me today when I read it, where prana resolve in apana and apana in prana or something like that. So I was wondering how that does, like, so anyway, so that way I thought not one prana is going away, it's all the pranas is resolved.
Yes, it requires a disciplined practice, I believe.
And ultimately, prana is also anatma, isn't it? All
Yes,
those that are
all of it
anatma
is anatma.
will
Yeah.
resolve. Yeah, dissolution is what is moksha. We learned that atyanta pralaya. So
Moksha is a
everything dissolves.
dissolution. Yeah.
Yeah, everything
all the
dissolves.
pranas, all the pranas are just to run this body properly. This subtle and stool body, to run it properly, the 5 pranas are there. So they are also
Yeah. But the
part of Atma.
apana is the one excreted, right? The excretion.
Excretion, all kinds of excretion. Number 1, number 2, our period, delivery of the child, everything connected with the lower part of the body.
Yeah.
The functioning of the
So
apana one.
the 4 yajnas that they talked about there, like the material yajna and this other 4 of them, I have to read it again to those 2 slokas. I was a little confused after reading it. But then again, this is different.
I have just question or something going in my mind. If Maharaji and Belaji and Dr. Mara, if you are listening, this but still, even to reach to this knowledge,
Yeah.
or even the that thing has to come up in the that ichha shakti, even to go through this knowledge, you need enough punya punja, even that desire comes in us. So, in a way, the karma and the knowledge, I think they go hand in hand. Oh, please, little bit help me here, no? Jai Gurudev.
Initially, we need to do all the karma, right? I mean, it is needed, but the final end is that, oh, I'm sorry, the knowledge is what is going to attain. Uh, so if we
No,
keep
you're
on
true.
doing the,
Which is true, right?
Yeah.
Unless we have done, all of us must have done enough punya, which is
Mm,
why, because of that adrishta phala, we are able to even get this thought, intention of wanting to pursue this.
knowledge, pursue the knowledge, of
That is the
course.
samskara we have developed over the years. So we don't know how many lifetimes we had to do what we did to get to this point.
Yeah.
So it doesn't just happen just like that, no? So even that is why there are these sannyasis who take to sannyasa very young in life. That is because they've done some punya sometime in their earlier lifetimes, and they've done those, their samskaras are there, and they've done enough, put in enough effort on this path.
Right.
for
I
them
just
to
want
get.
to quickly share something. This kind of, uh, today I was like having pain all over, and I've been thinking, oh God, what's this going on? I'm not even able to move. Then my daughter came, I usually make a dough and give it to her like for idli batter. So she came to pick it up, and then I said, stay here for a little bit. No, I had to go and see my kids and all this. Then it dawned to me, like, this God is actually, we are constantly complaining. And then he's looking at us like he's our parent. And all this are kids, like we are like all the kids all the time complaining, doing all kinds of stuff. And it was just uh, comparing my daughter to her, watching her children to God is watching us like that. So, like he created this whole universe to play like that, like parent and children. Anyway, I thought I'll share that. That kind of felt.
That's such a beautiful thought.
It did feel like it, all the time. I mean, we also happy, also we think, but mostly we don't think when you're happy, when you're only suffering and oh, please take this suffering away. And but from now on, that kind of helped me. Like maybe you had to make him happy by reading the book and this knowledge. Maybe he'll be happy. Mhm. And praying and doing all the praises for him.
Gurudev says no one-sided love. God is wondering why
Yeah,
there is no
we do.
reciprocation from our
Yeah,
side.
today, I kind of felt that love, like in terms of, yeah, we keep on asking all these things all the time, but we are here to give you something back. That's what this is.
मला द्यायचं मी इकडे ठेवत.
Are you sharing this page in the sixth chapter?
Yeah. Just give me 2 minutes. I will
No,
just.
no problem. I'm just
Yeah.
wondering, like.
Kindly continue the sharing. We had beautiful discussion we are having.
Yeah, like he's playing hide and seek. Like we play hide and seek, he's playing hide and seek. So we have to find him. So that's what this realization of Atma is. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he?
Jai Gurudev, Dr. Mara, you just said you explained your experience, like what you just experienced about your daughter. So I was just thinking that it is just the Maya effect. Like when the children are born, the parents are more inclined more towards their siblings, and that much if affection is not for their parent, they do have, but most of it is shifted towards the siblings. I think it's only that Maya effect is there. Because of that, you get entangled in your family more, and you look after the parents, but not with that intense feeling or that uh,
Yeah, no, I'm not upset with my daughter or anything. It's just that, like your
no, it
mind
happens with every one of
automatically
us.
goes, yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
goes
happens with everyone.
yeah, it goes towards your children, right? So like that, sometimes we think, oh, the God is not listening to you, or you keep on thinking about, I mean, saying all these things, but so it's something is happening, like you may be giving you this so that you
Uh,
think of him or something.
yeah, we are more concerned with our children more, though we are conscious of our parents also, but more concerned with the children. This is the Maya effect.
Right, thank you.
Yeah.
Can you see the screen? Are you
And
able to
this
see
whole
this?
journey is to return to yourself. This whole Maya that
Right.
is there, it is actually to help us to return to ourselves,
We
where
can see
God
the
is
page.
hiding in the.
Sorry, Suman, like I just answering biology. Yeah, we are seeing the page already.
Oh, dhanyavad, dhanyavad. So,
Go ahead,
anyone has?
Sumanji.
Yeah, please go ahead, Dr. Sumaji.
I just wanted to add on to what Dr. Savita said. The Maya effect is there for us to return to our own self. That is the journey, which is so hard, because Maya is very powerful, and that is why dispassion comes in. And this whole journey is to return to yourself, where God is hiding in the innermost chamber of your own heart. So this whole journey is returning to yourself. It's all very easy to say, but very difficult to get it in
Yeah.
reality, I suppose.
We have to get there. So are we reading it, or we somebody prepared for it
Yeah,
today?
I can read. My voice is clear, right? You can
Yes, yes.
quickly. Yeah. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha me pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sacha me pranashyati. The one who sees me in all beings and sees all beings in me, for him or her, I am remote and he or she is not remote from me. Vision of Atma given in the, anybody has done the verse? Anybody has gone through, if you can summarize quickly, because it is, we are reaching the time. So, but it is very, very beautiful and in much in line with what we are doing right now.
You can read the PDF, Belaji. It's
Yeah.
like initial paragraphs summarizes mainly the first line. Yo mam
Okay.
pashyati sarvatra. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The vision of Atma given in the previous verse is restated using a different language in the first line of this verse. The earlier expression, Sarva Bhutasam Atmanam, is put in the first person here. The one who recognizes me in all beings, Yah Mam Pashyati Sarvatra. Me does not, of course, refer to the person occupying the driver's seat of Arjuna's chariot named Krishna. Seated in the chariot, the person, Krishna, seems to have a definite location, and yet, when talking to Arjuna, he refers to himself as one who is everywhere. Sarva Bhutastha Atma. Wherever there is a Bhuta, a being, it has its being in me alone. This me is Atma. Thus, by replacing the words Sarva Bhutastha Atmanam with Mam, meaning Ishvara, Krishna quietly brings out the non-difference between Ishvara and the individual Jiva. The one who sees me, Ishvara, in all beings, meaning as the Adhisthana, the basis of all beings, knows himself or herself to be that same Ishvara, Paramatma, being non-separate from Atma. Krishna also says here that everything is in me alone. Sarvam cha mai eva. I am the Karana, the cause for everything. I am the Adhisthana for everything, the basis for everything. Thus, the person being discussed here recognizes himself or herself in all beings and all beings in the self alone. The only difference between this verse and the previous verse then is that the word Atma has been replaced by the first person, me. between the me in the present verse and Atma in the previous verse, there is no difference whatsoever. One who sees Atma in everything and everything in Atma recognizes Ishvara, me in everything and everything in me. I am the one who is the basis of all beings, and in me, all the beings have their being, their existence. I think Dr. Savita had explained this so beautifully even the day before. So here, when you know that, you become that. And for that becoming, I believe, as per my little understanding, we need to practice that our sadhana, and through that constant sadhana only, we will be able to be that, and we will be able to see that the whole creation is nothing but our own Atma only, the manifestation. And the Adhisthana is only the one, that is only the Parmeshwara. Anyone would like to share?
Yeah, that we read that, right? Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnasya.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
is
that
what it is. It's a whole. It is
correct.
complete. Yeah, Purnam. So if you take, so the last one it says, right, the me and everything in me, it's just the whole thing. So you
Yeah.
cannot separate it. The Atma is everything is Atma.
And
And
that feeling
recognize,
of wholeness and that contentment can come only as a result of that devotion and longing.
yeah, more and more we kind of
Yeah,
getting
otherwise
this.
there will be always the confusion. There, although we know, but we cannot become if we do not have enough practice. There will be always confusion.
You have to imagine this Vishwarupa of this, the Ishvara is one being, have everything in it. Then that in it everything is, sorry, me and everything is in me. So everything in me is that Vishwarupa.
Correct. Yeah, here Dr. Savita had also pointed out day before yesterday, I believe, that I think she had summarized it very beautifully. That it is not that flute playing Krishna, but it is the one who is Sarvavyapi in the whole creation.
Until unless you have that I, the small I, until unless that is gone, you will not be one with the Ishvara. Like you have that upadhis, your attributes attached. Until unless those are removed, you cannot be one. You will always consider yourself a separate individual. And that in the next half, he has explained Swamiji about that Satya Vastu, no? The Satya Vastu, that Satya Vastu is that your Atma. So it is only when you remove that I and you dissolve that difference, only then that you will experience that Satya Vastu which is there between the Ishvara and you, that it is the same, that it's the whole thing.
Yeah, as long as we don't see Atma is separate from Ishvara, then Atma and Ishvara is the same, first we have to get that thought first. And then that way we don't think this duality all the time, Um,
So
mm,
Aham Brahmasmi, which will be, I think, covered in the next chapters. Till now, we were reading Tattvamasi, that thou art. But
Correct.
we have to read
Yeah.
that Aham Brahmasmi.
yeah, maybe are you going to read further, Bella?
I think
Can
it's
Our
Ishvara be
time
time
is
is
already.
fine. Yeah.
We have to respect the Kala also. So tomorrow, I think this the PDF we can read tomorrow.
Okay.
Can Ishvara be a separate entity?
We're just
From-
talking about that.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Anyone would like to share before we close?
Belaji, you had to go for
I'm sorry.
you had to go for upgrade, no? No.
I'm
Teachers
sorry, I didn't get you, Madhuriji.
You had to go for your teacher's upgrade.
Today?
Yeah. No. You are from Bahrain.
No, Dubai.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry.
So we will just say concluding prayers if no one has to share. If anyone would like to share, kindly share. Okay, then we call it a day and we will just. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashit Dukha Bhag Bhavet Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. So with that feeling of abundance, let us call it a day. Let's contemplate the whole day with that feeling. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Thank you.
Jai Gurudev.